Hey, everybody. All right. Don't mind the dirty laundry. Whoops, back there. Just being real. So we're in that weird week between Christmas and New Year's where I haven't brushed my hair and you don't know what day it is. You don't know what end is up and all that. This is a great week though, to get really organized in your business in terms of making it a business. So I want to talk about how to pay yourself as a doula because I'm hearing the murmurings. This is something a lot of doulas are asking. And my brain goes, what? What do you mean you're not paying yourself? What is the point of being a doula if you're not paying yourself to do this work? Um, Obviously, yes, the point is to help families, but you need to be compensated. This is a job. So this video is not for you if you are being a doula for fun. It's your hobby. You love doing it. You love helping people and you have a sugar daddy. Or a trust fund or something or whatever. In all seriousness, if you're just doing this as a hobby and you don't need it to contribute to your family's income, this video is not for you. This video is for you if you are a doula who needs to pay the bills, who needs to contribute a certain amount to, let's just say, your household income, whether you're a single, married, partner, whatever. You got bills to pay. And let's just talk about the reality. We all have bills to pay. Yes, it would be nice to just be a doula and help people and not have to worry about the money, but it's 2025 for a couple more days. It's about to be 2026. We live on an earth that has this monetary system. We need to buy our food. We need to pay our rent, blah, 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 blah. So I'm not even going to get into all this. What I'm going to get into is those of you, I'm looking at you who say, I've been doing this for 3 years and I've never paid myself. I don't know how to pay myself. That ends in 2025. We don't do that anymore. In 2026, we are a legit doula business that pays its owner for the work that she does. Okay. And again, this is the whole point. And if you're like, I don't have a business. Yes, you do. Having a business is not a dirty thing. You have a business that helps people. And that is the dream. Okay. So first step, I'm going to walk you through a few steps. The first step is to legitimize your business, please. And there's 2 ways to do this. Just legitimize it to yourself. Legitimize it to your family. When they're like, if your partner doesn't believe in you, if your kids are like, oh, mom's off doing her weird hobby, doula stuff. If your friends and family are like, how's that you still doing that little cute little doula thing? Let them say what they're going to say. But the people who live in your house, and most importantly, you have to believe in this. So you need a room that is your office. If you don't have a big enough space to have a room, you need a corner. And it can't be the corner of your dining room table or a place where everybody else is. The more you can set this up, the more you can put a boundary, like invisible boundary, energetic boundary around your space that is like, this is mom's doula business office. It's going to have a profound effect. So again, doesn't have to be a full-on office. If it can be a desk in the corner of a certain room of your house. Then the second step to legitimizing your business is, for the love of all things holy, please have a business bank account that is separate from your personal bank account. You have to do this. Okay. And then if you too long didn't read, don't want to watch this whole video, here's how to pay yourself. Every week you take some money from that business account and put it into your personal account. And that is how you pay yourself. If you had a job, which you're so lucky you don't. If you had a job, they would pay you every week or every 2 weeks, direct deposit into your personal bank account, right? So now you are a big doula business owner. Your business, every week, every other week, whatever you decide, once a month. I like every week. I like money. I like the dopamine hit of paying myself every week. So that's what I suggest. And that's what I'm just going to say. Okay, so every week your business account needs to put money into your personal account. And so now, if you want to stay for the whole thing, let's reverse engineer this. Figure out what you need to pay yourself. If you're single, head of your household, add up your household bills, your mortgage, your heat, your AC, food, gas for the car, like all your personal household expenses. If you are married, have a partner, what is your responsibility in a month to pay towards the household bills? Add that all up and look at everything, your Netflix, your phone, your just everything. Find out what it is. The first thing to do is find out what it is you need to pay yourself. And this might shock a lot of you. So divide that, what you need to pay yourself in a month, divide that by 4. That's what you need to pay yourself in a week. And if you want a gold star, next level, you've been doing this a while, you have like a lot of money in your doula business bank account, set up an automatic transfer. So every week, $500, whatever it is going from your doula account into your personal account. Boom, there. You've set up automatic payments. You're paying yourself, and you don't even have to think about it if you set up the automatic transfer. And that's an amazing way to do it. If you are new, and I just want to say, I didn't do this until several years into my doula business, the automatic transfer thing. I always paid myself. I quit one job and became a doula because I felt like I was going to die if I didn't go out and help women after they had a baby. And I needed to replace the previous income I had coming in. So actually, another thing I did was went through my expenses with my husband at the time, our household expenses. We canceled a lot of stuff. We trimmed down our cable bill. I can't even remember because it was 15 years ago. We trimmed a lot of stuff, got rid of a lot of fat on our household expenses. And honestly, I do remember this thinking, what the heck? If that's all the stuff we can easily live without, like, why was I even working? That's a whole other episode. But so when I first started my business, I knew what I needed to earn, and that's how I figured out my rate. I knew what I needed to earn in a week to keep the roof overhead, keep the food coming, and everything we needed. So I reverse engineered. I'm like, okay, if I'm charging this much an hour as a postpartum doula, how many hours do I need to work? And is that even doable? And I figured out what was doable and what was the rate I needed to charge to make that happen. And I did. It's not like you declare that and suddenly it happens. Right? We're getting deposits. Someone books us, but they don't have their baby for 3 months. The cash flow issue is a big issue as you're starting your doula business. So I didn't set up automatic transfers, but as soon as money came into my business, I put it over into my personal account. Because paying yourself, here's what I want you to hear if you get nothing else out of this. Paying yourself is the most important thing you can do in your doula business. It's the whole flipping point. So if you're not doing the automatic transfers yet, just you're as the money comes in, you're putting what you need into your personal account to pay yourself. If the math isn't mathing, maybe you need to raise your rates. If the math isn't mathing, maybe you need to really double down on your marketing to get more clients. Come join my doula village if that's what you need. Okay, so you figured out what you need to pay yourself. If you can, you've set up the automatic transfers for your household bills. Second step is to figure out what you're going to owe for taxes. Because trust me, ask me how I know. You don't want April 15th to come around and all of a sudden you have to pay a few $1,000s in taxes and you don't have that money. So again, this is hard in the first couple of years of your business, but what a good way to plan for this is any money that comes into your doula business, you take 30% of that and put it into a separate account, savings account, and that's what's going to be your pay your tax bill. And again, your household expenses plus 30% of your doula income for taxes. Make sure the math is mathing and that you're charging enough. And then if you're doing this, worst case scenario, you've put aside 30% and especially in your first couple of years of business, you are not going to owe that much and if you're in my doula village, you're learning all the tax things that you can do to reduce what you owe, but you've saved that. And then if you don't have to spend it on your taxes, it's a little bonus for you as the owner of the business. And then bonus points for if you have been in business for a while, you know what you paid in taxes last year. This is what I do now. Again, and it took me years to get to this place, but I know what I paid last year in taxes. I divide that by 52 because there's 52 weeks in the year. And every Friday, I transfer that amount into a separate tax account. And it just happens. I don't think about it. And then when I pay my quarterly estimated taxes, the money's right there. It's easy. And it's like, it's no longer even stressful. Like, I just had to pay $3,000 in taxes. Doesn't matter because I've set myself up to save for it and it's there and it's easy. Okay. Step 3 is same way you did for your household expenses, go through and figure out what your business expenses are. And the coolest part about being a doula is we don't have a lot of business expenses. We don't have to pay rent on a storefront. We don't have to buy inventory. We don't have employees. We don't have, there's so much that as a doula, we don't have to pay in terms of business expenses, but we do have our liability insurance, membership dues or whatever training costs to your training organization, your cell phone, any softwares that you're using, internet, things like that. Add up what it costs on a monthly basis to run your business. First of all, you are the first expense, your salary, what you're paying, what you've already decided, what you've already figured out that you're paying yourself. First expense, taxes, second expense that you just figured out. Third is all the other things. So add all those up. And again, what am I going to say? Make sure the math is mathing and that you are charging enough to pay your expenses, your business expenses, to pay your taxes, and to pay yourself so that you can pay your household expenses. And then anything that's left over after you pay yourself, you pay your biz expenses, and you pay your taxes, that's your profit right there. And that's why you're running a business. That is why you have to set up an office space in your house. That is why you have to track your business money separate from your personal money. Also, because the IRS will come down on you if you don't, so that you know that all this work you are doing, all this time you're living on call, all this energy and love and compassion that you're pouring out to your clients, you need to make sure you are being compensated for that. And people get all squirrely around this talking about money, being compensated monetarily for this, but money's energy. And if you're putting all this energy out, living your life on call, never leaving 30 minutes from the hospital that you're on call to go to, missing Christmas with your kids, not being able to sign up to volunteer in your kid's classroom because you never know if you're going to be able to make it. And then the love and the expertise, the training, the knowledge that you have, if you're not being compensated enough for that, so that you can pay your taxes, so that you can pay your mortgage, so that you can pay your business expenses, if you're not being compensated for that, this is all going to explode, implode, whatever, and you're going to have to stop being a doula. So this is why I'm so adamant about this. People talk about burnout and self-care and blah, blah, blah. This is the biggest self-care you can do. It's paying yourself well, paying your taxes without it being stressful, paying your business expenses. And at the end of the day, the week, the month, the year, you feel like it's balanced. What you earned matches the output that you put out there into the world. So I started out talking to how to pay yourself as a doula, and then we got into like a philosophical, energetic exchange, conversation. But it all matters, and I really hope this helped you. I love this stuff. And I decided to do this video after conversation in my Doula Village, my membership program among the doulas, because we're looking at these numbers. We're setting ourselves up for success, yes, but we're setting ourselves up for sustainability. This map I just laid out for you is going to it's part of building a foundation of your doula business to make sure you can be a doula for as long as you want to. I do not want all this money stuff to get all messed up and force you to have to leave the doula world and go back to a regular job, because that's not helping anyone. So pay yourself. Put these practices into place. And if you need more help, join my Doula Village. We're going to be doing a whole challenge in January of 2026 around this, just easy things. I'm going to do a 7-day challenge. It's something to do every day to help set up this financial system for you. If you're watching this replay and that already happened, you could still join my Doula Village and go back through the challenge. And like we're having these conversations all the time in our office hours. I love geeking out on the financial side of things. And oh, wait. Speaking of which, I forgot the step of saving for retirement. You have to pay yourself. You have to pay your bills, pay yourself, pay your taxes, pay your business expenses, and you need to be saving for retirement. Oh my God, I can't even believe I forgot to say that. This has to be a line item of your business buzz. No, what am I trying to say? This has to be a line item of your business. Again, long haul. You don't want to get to be 65 years old. You have an amazing doula career, but you haven't paid yourself into your retirement. Again, another thing we talk about a lot in my Doula Village. So if you want to join my Doula Village, go to mydoulavillage.com, join us, follow me on Instagram, stay tuned here. Make sure you follow or subscribe, whatever it is, to my YouTube channel, because I'm doubling down on this in 2026 for you doulas. I really think we need to be talking more about the finances. So Happy New Year.